as you all maybe you heard, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Joe Rogan has contracted the COVID-19 virus. Now, there are a couple of issues here. The first of which is like, Joe Rogan has said some questionable things about COVID and the vaccine, right? That I disagree with, right? And he actually admitted that they were ignorant. So I'm not going to give him like a lot of shit. Like, that's a normal thing. Hey, I said something stupid. You get educated. You go, on my bed, right? So like he said that you don't need to get it if you're a kid or a young person because it probably won't hurt you. But the reason you would get it as a young person is to like reduce the intensity of the virus, reduce the spreading of the virus for the older people in your life. It's like, okay. And then he's like, yeah, I fucked up. Now, I don't know if he has it or not, if he had gotten the vaccine or not, but he got COVID. And this video here is very short. It's just basically after Joe Rogan gets it, he's like, oh, I do a bunch of treatments. Now, some of them are and aren't viable treatments, and I want to watch this guy's videos to educate myself because, that's just, I feel like, the more responsible thing to do. But there is something here, and I'm not going to blame this guy for it, that I have a big problem with, and I'm going to show you why. So just watch for a second.
Hello, friends. So I got back from the road Saturday night, feeling very weary. I had a headache, and I just felt just run down. And just to be cautious, I separated from my family, slept in a different part of the house, and throughout the night, I got fevers and sweats, and I knew what was going on. So I got up in the morning, got tested, and turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, Z-Pak, prednisone, everything. And I also got an NAD drip and a vitamin drip, and I did that 3 days in a row. And so
that just sounds like so much to put into your fucking body. Holy shit. I mean, Jesus Christ.
So
the fact that what I find interesting, and I don't know if he has the vaccine or not, but what I find interesting
here we are
is that like Joe Rogan has let's see, is Joe Rogan. What I find interesting though is that this should be a simple. He doesn't. It's rumored he doesn't. I don't know if he confirmed or deny it. So, but what I find interesting is that he has said some like anti-vaxxing stuff. I don't think it was like out of malice, but then so he's like against putting the vaccine potentially into his body because it might be dangerous. But he'll put like 7,000 other things in his body after the fact. Like I feel like the COVID vaccine was better than a cocktail of shit. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you take the position of like, yeah, I don't want to take the vaccine because it might be bad for me. But then you just put obscene amounts of like that shit in your body, which may or may not even be treatments. You know what I mean?
We are on Wednesday, and I feel great. I really only had one bad day. Sunday sucked, but Monday was better. Tuesday felt better than Monday, and today I feel good. I actually feel pretty fucking good.
That's good, I guess.
That's the good news. The bad news is we have to move.
You have to have tons of diarrhea. That has to be the bad news because there's no way that you did all that and you don't have like just a complete loose asshole.
The Friday show in Nashville. It's going to move to Sunday, October 24th. So that will be the new Nashville date. My apologies to everyone. Obviously, there's nothing that I can control.
Well,
it is what it is.
You could have controlled it a little bit if you got the vaccine. Or maybe you do have it, and I'm speaking out of ignorance, but...
Crazy times we're living in. But a wonderful, heartfelt thank you to modern medicine for pulling me out of this so quickly and easily. And my love to all of you. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so obviously the whole thing's a little silly.
Hello, friend.
But here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Now, this is a video from this doctor. We're going to watch in a sec. But here's one of the things that bothers me. If you look at a side-by-side between these two pictures here, you see that this is a picture from the media. This isn't actually from Joe Rogan's Instagram page. And, like, I will fault this person for not going to their Instagram page. But also, like, if you're on, like, Twitter or something and you see, like, oh, Joe Rogan got, COVID-19, you would, like, be like, oh, look at him. He looks like shit. But the media like darkened his picture to make him look worse. And it's just so dishonest. Like, for what? It's just shitty. Like, you can criticize Joe Rogan without making him look worse with a filter. So I feel like this is pathetic. Just leave it the regular color and still criticize him like I just did. You could still criticize him, but this is stupid. It just bothers me because I feel like this gives anti-vaxxers an argument. Now an anti-vaxxer gets to say, look, they're trying to make it look worse than possible. Coronavirus isn't a big deal. That's what people are trying. Now that's the response, right? Like when we talk, this is the problem. This is always the problem when people spew rhetoric, is they're always spewing rhetoric to their own people. So if you're somebody who thinks that Joe Rogan's an idiot, right? And you're pandering to other people. Like if let's say you're a news media or media outlet and you're like, yeah, Joe Rogan's dumb. And you know all the people that like your content think that Joe Rogan's dumb. You're going to make Joe Rogan look as dumb as possible. However, like if you really believed in your message and you think it's very important to like, hey, you should take the vaccine, which I think is a very important message, you don't need to pander to that audience. You need the anti-vaxxers to listen. And not just the anti-vaxxers, but like it's a spectrum of people who believe in the virus or believe the vaccine works. It works. I genuinely believe that. But you got people like towards the middle that are like a little hesitant. And it doesn't take a lot to be like, hey, you should get it. And you completely push those people farther to anti-vax because now they're like, dude, if you have to upplay it, there must be something going on here. And I don't like that. I don't like. No, it's not a screenshot. No, it's not a screenshot. Look, this is the Joe Rogan one. At any point, and then if you go in here, like look at the vax, look at this. At any point, it's a filter. It's not just a screenshot. They filtered it, and that's what the media outlets are pushing. And it's like, Jesus, man, they're gonna like, it's just dishonest. Anyway, let's watch this video for some educational information about what he was saying.
Joe Rogan just announced on social media that he's in fact sick with COVID-19. He does seem to be doing better and we wish him a speedy recovery. He also did announce a wide range of medications that he took to treat COVID-19, which I want to discuss with you today. Here's the clip.
We immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, Z-Pack.
Isn't a Z-Pack just like a bunch of meds? Like, or just like a bunch of like vitamins, right? Or am I thinking of an animal pack?
Prednisone, everything. And I also got an NAD drip and a vitamin drip, and I did that 3 days in a row.
Let's take each one of these on the list, starting with monoclonal antibodies. This is actually a legitimate treatment that's being used widely across the US to prevent severe cases of COVID-19, hospitalizations, and deaths. The way it works is the pharmaceutical companies actually created artificial antibodies that are actually similar to the ones your body makes when it fights off COVID-19. DeSantis in Florida is actually praising this treatment, trying to get more and more people to get it. There is a set of inclusion and exclusion criteria. Basically, it's made for individuals who are at high risk for having severe COVID, but are not yet sick enough to be hospitalized because there is a limited benefit for those patients. Next up, we have ivermectin, which is an anti-parasitic medication used in both humans and animals. Lately, there's been speculation.
Well, humans are animals, excuse me? Like, hashtag, what do they call it? Like, racist towards animals. What is that? Animalists? I don't know.
About ivermectin being used to prevent severe cases of COVID-19. However, this hasn't quite played out in the quality research. There have been smaller studies that showed some initial promise, but it hasn't yet held up when we've done serious research. There are some trials still ongoing, but this medication is far from proving a benefit. And this is really important to note because there are individuals across the US who believe in this medication so much that they're actually taking their animals' medication to treat themselves.
I mean, that would be a bad thing. Specious, thank you. Because if you, like, let's say you're like, yeah, I'm going to take, what is it, ivermectin? And then you're like, I'm not going to take anything else. You're probably not going to have a whole lot of benefit for your body.
Do not do this. It is incredibly dangerous. The dosages are not the same. The types of medications are not the same. And we don't yet have proof that it works for COVID-19.
Are you telling me that my dog doesn't take the same, wouldn't require the same amount of a particular pill that I would? My Chihuahua that weighs 15 pounds wouldn't need the same amount as someone who weighs 350? Shut up. Are you a real doctor? What the dog doing?
There are other therapies that we have available. Do not use ivermectin unless it's for an approved FDA use. Next up, we have Z-Pak, azithromycin. It's an antibiotic that is frequently used for ear infections, respiratory infections. This one makes the least amount of sense to me as a doctor. Joe Rogan went on and said that he has a virus. This is an antibiotic that's used for bacteria. The two don't really go hand in hand. In fact, we advocate to not take antibiotics when you have a viral infection because it actually complicates the picture, creates more antibiotic resistance, chances of antibiotic-associated diarrhea. Basically, problems that you do not want to have.
I told you. He told you, dude. He's gonna get diarrhea. Did I tell you? See, I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor too. I'm gonna give you a good clip for this. I'm gonna give you a good. Not gonna be able to find it.
I don't want to speculate on Joe Rogan's health here.
It's a Steve Brule thing. I'm a doctor too. I was gonna do like a whole bit, but
because he may have an underlying pneumonia with his COVID-19 infection caused by a bacteria, but because he didn't say so, this one just doesn't make sense to me. Next up, we have prednisone, which is a steroid medication that we use to control inflammation.
you know, come on. I think he's open about it. He's on steroids probably. Like, you know, that's not like I'm not being rude. He's probably on regular steroids, you know what I mean? PEDs, that's speculative, but a lot of people in the fitness industry are. And I'm not even taking away from their accomplishments. It's just like kind of a thing. You know?
This one also is used in hospitals, but it's generally reserved for our more sick patients. This is because the purpose of using steroids is to actually blunt the immune response and lower inflammation. The tricky thing with treating COVID-19 patients, severely ill COVID-19 patients, is that they have an overabundance of this inflammation known as a cytokine storm. And to help combat that cytokine storm, we actually use prednisone to tone down your body's immune system response. But if you're otherwise healthy and feeling okay and are not hospitalized, prednisone might not play a role for you. Again, here I don't want to speculate on the severity of Joe Rogan's illness, but I want you to know why we prescribe these medications. The next two I'm going to group in one, vitamin and NAD IV therapy. This is where marketers like to prey on you. Prey on your fears surrounding COVID-19. Folks, there is no proof either of these things help with COVID-19. Preventing it, making it less severe, none of the above. And for individuals who eat a well-balanced diet and already take supplements, you do not need more of these.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I was gonna say, like I doubt that. I was gonna say, like, if you don't have the macro or rather the micronutrients you need, then taking a supplement is something you should do because it'll help your body overall. But flooding your body with a bunch of vitamins usually just gets shot out of your piss. That's pretty much all that happens, is you take vitamins, and then if you take too much, and usually I think if you look at any, I take a one a day. I have them right here, and like almost everything is over 100% of what you need. Not everything, but a lot of stuff. My body just takes the piss. It pisses it out. So, you know, if anything, you just might give yourself a fucking kidney stone, and then you're going to be pushing a rock through your pee hole. So, you know, drink a lot of water, guys.
Supplements. In fact, the studies have shown over and over again that not only do these things not help, they could potentially hurt. I actually pulled up a website here with NAD therapy, and the promise is they make our...
Last time I did NAD therapy, my fucking testicles hurted for such a long time, dude. It was kind of sexy, though. She kicked me right in the balls, made me... All right. The joke was NAD therapy. Dude, a little off topic. You ever see those videos on the hub? It was a long time. This was a long time ago, where a girl with like a stiletto shoe would step on the dude's nuts, and like he would fucking. Dude, it was bad. It was he would shoot out blood. Ugh, I gotta stop.
Absolutely.
I gotta stop going on these tangents, dude. That's fucking real. That's ball busting.
Absurd. One.
Dude, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Well, you're asking teens, because I'm dumb. Because sometimes I just speak before I think. I'm sorry.
It aids in addiction recovery. 2, it reduces pain. 3, it
I know what
improves
we're talking about
cognitive
now.
function. 4, it boosts energy. 5, it improves athletic performance. 6, helps with weight management. 7, reverses signs of aging. 8, delays or prevents the onset of certain diseases. And apparently also helps with COVID. Folks, do not fall for these marketing scams. You do not need either of these for COVID-19.
I just feel like you just should have all, like, you should meet your micronutrient requirements through like some kind of, whether you're gonna eat healthy or you're gonna take like a one a day or something, you know what I mean? But you don't need to blast more vitamins in your body than you actually need. You're just gonna piss it out, or you're gonna get sick. Like your kidneys aren't gonna be able to process it.
legitimate doctor would be recommending these for you. And the biggest issue I have with all these medications being taken all at once, they could potentially interact. You know, when I prescribe a medications, one of the first questions I ask a patient is, are you on any others? And the reason is, we can actually look at our database and see if there's interactions between certain meds. But when you're taking medication,
well, I feel like can you just tell us if these do have a negative interaction with each other? Because like you know what he's taking, so you could just say, yeah, this and this conflict with each other. But since you're not saying that, I feel like this is just kind of an empty point that you're making. It's a good general point, but you could like do these conflict? Just tell us. You can see it all. Just tell us if it conflicts. That's all I need to know.
Medications for unapproved uses, or even medications that don't have
I'm gonna make a reasonable assumption that he went to a doctor. You know,
scientific validity to them, you won't know if there are any potential interactions, and it can become
can you
quite
tell us?
dangerous. And remember,
just tell us.
We as doctors, the CDC,
okay.
the FDA, we are working countless hours trying to find a potential treatment or cure for COVID-19. And you know what we have come up with? A vaccine that actually works. A vaccine that has a really, really good rate of decreasing hospitalizations and severe illness. That is something you should believe in. If you're unvaccinated, please consider getting vaccinated. If you have a question about a specific COVID-19 treatment or potential treatment, speak with your primary care doctor. And again, wishing a speedy, well recovery for Joe Rogan.
Yeah, no, that was a good video. I feel like the last thing was just kind of a weird point. Like, not the COVID, you should get the vaccine, but the part where it's like, oh, there's conflicting medications, so you should always make sure that they don't conflict. Oh, great point. He told us all the medications, so can you just tell us if they conflict? And he's not telling us, which leads me to believe that those medications don't conflict. That's all. That just was like a little like maybe I farted after he said that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you could have told us that it does or doesn't conflict. It would have been pretty nice. But overall, good video.